All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom. I'm an eBay reseller and a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children, and the wife goes back to school tomorrow. It's Sunday afternoon, and I've got 18 orders for a total of $1,129 that are going to have to go out on Monday morning, and so I need to start as soon as possible. Lots of good things sold. You guys saw the hauls over the last couple of days. You've seen some of the sales that I previewed in the other order, but we're gonna, or in another video, but we're gonna start at the latest thing that sold and then work our way backwards. Fireman Sam, put out by the same company that put out Thomas the Train. I really like this show. British fireman, teaches kids about the importance of fire safety, but like also community, and it's for what it is. It's a cute show. He did talk when I picked him up. Probably needs new batteries at this point. I paid $2 because that's what plush are at our store, and he sold for $19, free shipping. This lock I picked up yesterday for a quarter. I may have underpriced it. Sold overnight for $16 plus shipping. Ornate brass locks with the key. If you see them at estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores, pick them up with the key. Without the key, they're not really worth very much, generally speaking, unless they're really ornate. But with a key, even a pad like this would sell for $16 in a couple of hours. I don't know anything about Fesco. I couldn't find anything on it when I was trying to comp it, so I just put it at like an old Stanley. 4 of these sold. I bought 5. I listed them for a year. I guess I got them a year ago last weekend, and I had them listed for 10, 11 months, and one at a time, and only one had sold in 11 months. And it sold for like $40 plus shipping and went to somebody in Australia. I paid $20 for them. It's got Batman, Superman, Robin, Shazam. I think that may be all the characters. Maybe it has Wonder Woman too, but you just don't see her on this one. Now, I think this is dated 1976, something like that. Late 70s, not even early 80s. Wallpaper. So wallpaper is hard to find. It's not the kind of thing that a lot of people want, but this is comic book history, and I got 5 rolls of these. I paid $20 a roll. Sold one of them for $50 plus shipping, 40 something. It was like 48.90 or something, plus shipping to a guy in Australia. And then I was like, I want these to sell. Let me just make one big listing for all of them. And it took about 3 weeks. And I got $249 free shipping. So I'm $80 into it, but $250 free shipping, that's pretty darn good. I probably should have just made a lot of them when I started. A lot of people find that stuff will sell like a baseball card size swatch showing just Superman. So there's a lot of those listing, but the complete rolls there's not many of. So if you see them, keep an eye out for them. These I paid. Levi found a bunch of them for 97 cents a piece at Goodwill. New with the tags, but it's the Rams from Colorado State, which while some of my viewers are like, oh yeah, that's a great team, or I'm an alma mater there, or whatever, that's my alma mater. You wouldn't say I said it. I'm an alumni. I said it the wrong way. Anyway, it's not like there's huge demand for the Rams. So I've sold, I think I have one left. This sold for $11 free shipping, which is kind of my break-even point on things that I'm not counting the cost of goods on anymore, because I made money on those a long time ago, and at some point I just have to take some money or take them out of the store. This bad boy sold on a best offer for $375. I had it listed for $500 or best offer, and had the anything below $325 turned off. So this person came in and offered me $375. It's not gonna be fun to ship. There are no internals in the box, so I'm gonna have to take these guys out, bubble wrap them, and then stuff the paper with the box with the paper that I bought yesterday. I'll probably put a superficial layer or two of bubble wrap around the outside of the box, and then put it in like a wardrobe box from U-Haul. And I went ahead and like got the dimensions, what I think, like adding an inch all the way around, and the weight, adding 2 pounds, and it should ship for $35 through UPS. It's going to like Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's not like, we're in central Illinois, that's central Arkansas. It's just through Missouri. As far as shipping is concerned, it's not very far. It's a 1 day, you could drive there in a day if you needed to. But that rubies, which incidentally, I saw a tag when we were thinking of when we were trying to think of a name for our baby. I saw a tag that for a Five Nights at Freddy's mask that Levi found and ended up selling quickly and for good profit, and it said rubies on it, and we didn't spell it the same, but that is the origin of her name, was Ruby Costumes. But this was in the box at that yard sale, and it was $50, and I was really on the fence because money's a little bit tight because things just haven't been selling really well. Well, today, this sale and the wallpaper, I'm over $500 on just those two sales. Geez, I'm over $650 on those two sales. So, $625 essentially. Anyway, so I took the offer. I was hesitant to spend $40 because I wasn't sure it was going to flip really fast. Well, it flipped super fast. Took the offer, excited to get that thing moved. I feel a little bit like the summer slowdown has slowed down because we are clicking things off and decent prices for stuff. This is a Cabbage Patch doll. I just really liked his Kid and Play high top fade, and he sold, I paid $1 for it at Helping Hands, and sold for $20, free shipping in a matter of about 3 weeks. When I say how long it's been listed, I'm just guessing on memory. Caleb picked these up at a yard sale on the last video, like a couple of days. They sold the next day. We paid $3. They sold for $30, free shipping. Comps are all over the place. There are sold comps for this for $65. But there are also sold comps for it for $17. So I was like, I would be really happy to get $30 free shipping, and that was good enough to sell it same day. So I'm excited about that. Caterpillar was started in Peoria, Caterpillar Tractor. So the headquarters is here, was for a century. Now it's either Chicago or Dallas, but it's not Peoria anymore. But all the same, we have a lot of Caterpillar branded merchandise around here. So I see them all the time. Pick this up for $1.85, and it sold for $14 free shipping. I bought out a dude's store. Everything was $1 an item. I got about 400 items. These shoes were in that mess. I wouldn't have sourced these shoes, but I bought them for $1 and they sold for $30 free shipping. But they've been listed probably 6 months because it's been a while since I picked that stuff up. Retro Truckload, I think. Or maybe this was the Big Sega Buy. Doom. Yeah, this was from the Big Sega Buy like 3 months ago. Doom Manual, the battle book, from the original Doom computer game. And I thought it was going to be super good. 1994. Not so much. Sold for $8 plus shipping. Vintage game guides in good condition can do super well. And I don't understand that. I mean, I guess it's probably about the collectability, because anything you're going to learn on that guide is on YouTube, is on any website. Like, the game guides aren't really you don't need to sit and read a game guide to figure out how to play a game and the cheats and that kind of stuff. Picked up 3 Roman Reigns wrestling t-shirts. This one I felt like was the best. It absolutely did the worst. $13 free shipping just to get it moved. I probably had it for 9 weeks or so. The other two sold in a week, and nobody wanted this one. So when I got a $13 offer, I took it. The tool chest that we bought the other day at the garage sale for $30, and it had a bunch of Craftsman stuff in it. Well, I marked these down pretty low. They're big, nice Billings brand, but like 1 1/8 inches, as big as 1 1/8 inches. If you've got big stuff to work on, these wrenches are not cheap to buy new. If you needed to go into Menards or Lowe's or even Harbor Freight and buy 1 1/8 inches open end wrench, that set is not going to be inexpensive. So anyway, these are rusty. They're not in great shape, but they are really high quality. And if you're turning nuts with them, it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of surface rust. So I marked them for $12.99 plus shipping, figuring it would be expensive to ship them. And the buyer's all in at $26. And those sold pretty well right away. We bought the Soda Stream the other day with several canisters, and the one of them, like, there was two this color. One of them was like felt empty when you picked it up. These three all, you know, to the touch kind of weigh the same.
Can I watch Genevieve?
If nobody else is using the TV, sure, yeah. Real good. These three sold for $40. The other one I included, like, you can get these canisters refilled, so their empty canister isn't worthless. But I've included one open canister and the one sealed but feels empty canister with the machine. But that was kind of the best piece of that. But we paid $8, so we're in the profit on just that portion selling. Everything's $1 garage sale, which was September of last year. We picked up a lot of things, but amongst them was some blankets, this Hello Kitty. It's a real thick throw, and I think it's only one-sided. It's just the reverse on the other side. No name brand, I don't think. I don't think it's like, it feels like a biter lock, but it's not. It's just a no-name vintage 2004 Hello Kitty blanket, and it sold for $14 free shipping. That was like, when I'm picking things up at everything's $1 garage sale, I'm just grabbing because I'm assuming that things are going to make money. And that was not a good pickup, evidently. But I got it listed. I got it sold. I'm going to make a little bit of money. But if I had to comp everything at $1 garage sale, it wouldn't be worth messing with. And if I own it, chances are real good I'm going to list it, even if I'm breaking even. Or it even makes sense to me. You don't want to lose money on a lot of stuff, but if it's something you already own and it's going to sell through reasonably quickly at a loss, you already ate the cost of it. So donating it back doesn't make sense to me, unless it's like something that I spent a quarter on and it's only going to list for $3. That I'm not going to mess with. I'm just going to be like, oh, that was a loss. But something like that where I'm getting $14 of revenue into the store, and then I got to pay the fees, and I'm going to end up with a $5 bill. That, you know, even though my cost of goods, to me, it doesn't make sense when you've already eaten the cost of something to not just list it. Almost always, with the exception of things that are minuscule value, you know, below $5 value. Donald J. Trump ties. These do pretty well considering it's 2024 and people aren't wearing ties like they did even 5 years ago. Professional attire has changed. People going into work has changed. And so ties are not necessarily something that makes a bunch of money like it did 5-10 years ago. But Donald Trump ties, you know, he has a fan base, And these are very high quality, well made ties. You can tell the difference running your hand through a bunch of ties. Like, these are thicker, they're silkier, they're brighter colors than a lot of the like Van Heusen, you know, really generic department store ties. So I picked those up. And here's the clincher, the crazy thing about those. Those were marked $1.85, $1.84. For whatever reason, that's the kind of the low watermark for Goodwill. Those were marked at $1.84 in the ties, and they sat there until they were half price, which I believe, and you would think it would be a guy that's in Goodwill every single day, I would know how long it takes for something to get to half price. I think it's 6 weeks, but I'm not sure. But anyway, those were there for long enough to get to half price. So I paid less than $1 a piece for those. This hat I paid like $5 for a long, long time ago. Mighty Ducks. I don't wear it anymore. There's probably 25 thumbnails of me wearing it. I had to staple the snap broke. I put another snap on it. It would not hold the way that I've gotten them to hold a million times before. So I put a staple in it and I wore it a little bit like that, and it's dirty, but I was cleaning out my closet of stuff that I haven't worn or thought about in 2 years, and this was on the chopping block, and I'm like, you know what? Somebody will enjoy that. It'll sell quick. $16 free shipping. I got my use out of it, and it can move on to a new home, and it's not in good enough condition to really ask top dollar for. These Flippy number clocks do tremendously well. If they're in good working order, awesome. If they're not, and you're not afraid to, I mean, this was 2 screws even, and the cap comes off, and then you take a little 3-in-1 like motor oil, not motor oil, like oil for an electric motor, like the little, anyway, 3-in-1 oil, and you put down in the motor, and then you spin the motor, it'll come back to life. I've done it a bunch of times. Almost always. I've never had one that didn't. And so this one I got for like $4 or $5 on Whatnot, and it showed up not working, and it sold for $60. Buyers all in at $65, so it would have been free shipping. Nice clock. Copal is a one that sells pretty well. This sold for $15 originally, but Copal is a name brand that sells fairly high. This is from the 60s, probably the late 60s, maybe the early 70s. It's made in Japan. Nice streamlined looking little flip clock. Not all flip clocks are going to do this well. If you get, if you get the big ones that are like wood grain and they aren't specific models, they'll do like $25, $35, but still you're probably picking them up for next to nothing, especially if they're known to not work. And you can get them fixed pretty easy with just some 3-in-1 oil and elbow grease. And but if you find there's one in Back to the Future and there's one in Groundhog's Day that are Flippy number clocks, and if you find those models, because they're associated with the movies, they're worth a bunch of money. So keep an eye out for Flippy number clocks. So I picked this up at Goodwill the other day, and I paid $2 for it. It is from Animal Kingdom, and a couple of my family members had it in their hand and didn't know what they had. I mean, and it's not like super valuable, but didn't know what character this is. This is the ride. If you think about the Dumbo ride that just moves up and down and goes around in circles around the center, and there's a bunch of them. This is the one from Animal Kingdom called Triceratops Spin, and that ride is closing. All the dinosaur themed rides in Animal Kingdom are closing. So I picked that up knowing that it would sell when the announcement got more out there that it was closing. Not that it's worth a fortune, but it's a neat thing. I thought about holding it until the ride was gone, but that'll probably be a year and a half. And I thought maybe it won't be quite that long. But anyway, I went ahead and listed it for a little above what the normal comps were, and it sold $14, free shipping. that's it. 18 minutes worth of what solds and 18 what solds for a grand gross total of 1129 and 88 cents. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for following and clicking the bell. We'll see you on the next one.